Enki and the Golden Grain. Long ago, a boy named Enki lived in a land called Mesopotamia. The name means the land between the rivers. Enki lived between two big rivers, the Tigris and the Euphrates. The weather was very hot, and the ground was very dry. Enki looked at the wide blue water and the yellow sand. Enki lived with his father, Adapa. Adapa was a farmer. Every morning, they walked to the river. "The water is our friend," Adapa said. "Without the rivers, we cannot grow food." Enki watched the water move. He saw small fish swimming near the shore. The land needed water to grow plants. Adapa and Enki worked hard to dig long paths in the dirt. These paths were called canals. The canals carried water from the big river to the dry fields. Enki used a wooden tool to move the heavy mud. It was hard work, but he was happy to help. Enki's sister, Ninsu, helped in the fields too. When the water reached the dirt, the ground became soft. They planted seeds for wheat and barley. These seeds grew into tall, golden grain. "One day, we will make bread from this," Ninsu said. She carried a basket full of seeds. Harvest time was very busy. Ninsu worked all day to collect the grain. There were many big sacks of food. Ninsu looked at the sacks and tried to count them. 1, 2, 3. "Oh, there are too many," she said. It was hard to remember how much food they had for the winter. Enki went to see a man named Gudea. Gudea was a scribe. A scribe was a person who knew how to write. Gudea sat on a wooden stool. He held a piece of wet, soft clay in his hands. He also had a small stick made of a reed. This stick was called a stylus. "I can show you a secret," Gudea told Enki. He pressed the stylus into the wet clay. It made a mark that looked like a small wedge. Gudea made many marks. "This is how we count the grain," Gudea explained. Enki took a piece of clay and tried to make his own marks. Enki ran back to show Ninsu. "Look," he cried. "I can write 10 sacks of grain on this tablet." This special writing was called cuneiform. Ninsu touched the marks on the clay. The clay was drying and getting hard in the sun. Now, they would not forget their numbers. One evening, Adapa took Enki to the center of the city. They saw a very tall building made of bricks. It looked like a mountain with stairs. "That is the ziggurat," Adapa said. "It is a temple for the gods." Enki looked up at the top. It was the biggest building he had ever seen. Enki was proud of his home in Mesopotamia. His people were very clever. They knew how to use the rivers to farm, and they knew how to write their stories on clay. Enki held his stylus and his tablet. He was ready to write about his life between the two great rivers.